Medieval times is something that you've never done, or what?
I've never been to medieval times. I've always wanted to go.
I've never been.
I went there like 4 times. Dude.
I wanted to go since I was 8.
My night has never won every time I've been.
Dude, our night kicked ass.
My night never won.
And he was like some fucking skinny black dude too, and everyone else was like some tall, big, freaking Dutch bearded men.
That's not time period appropriate.
Well, did they have slaves back then?
I'm pretty goddamn sure they did.
Well, fuck it.
Yeah,
it's the underdog from the underground.
It's
a railroad.
I'm pretty sure there's always been a black dude that's like
dude,
been like kicking ass, all right.
For sure they have.
Django style.
Like Jack Johnson, dude. You know Jack Johnson?
Oh yeah.
Boxing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack Johnson, man. Back in the day, you'd go like 100 rounds.
Back when they had 100-round fights,
100-round fights, dude.
Yeah.
100-round
beating up
fights,
white men.
no stoppage.
Yeah, I know. Just brutal beatdowns.
Shit, dude.
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
Well, that makes me think, like, how hard would it be for like us to adjust to going back in time?
Oh God.
And like being somewhere where they actually speak your language, but not necessarily your language. How would you adjust, Kraze? What time period would you want to go to?
Ooh, what I want to go to. Well, to be honest, let's be honest here. Right now is the best time to be alive. With modern medicine and all. Whatever you think. Dude, there's right, for sure you probably died 4 times back in it's a century ago.
Okay, but like
where you are now.
Yeah, you're talking about modern medicine being better, but you're talking about diseases that didn't exist back then.
That's true. That's true. So, but you wouldn't have. Yeah,
it's a give and take. I would want to go back to the 50s and taste the food.
Why? They probably have like, bland ass food.
Dude,
I don't know.
I was just talking to my friend about this. Like, you ever like, did you ever hear old people talk like that? Like say like, man, like me used to, like the cuts of me used to be better back then. And like this used to be better back then. Like bread used to be better. Like, you ever hear old people talk like that? I wonder too, man. I was thinking the same shit the other day. I'm like, I wonder if food really did like look better and taste better back then.
It had
even food that's like normal, like the basic food.
No, the better question would be, could you survive? Like, would you be able to like? Survive?
Would I be able to survive? All right, with what I know now,
with just Kraze,
right now.
Close your eyes, open your eyes. You're in the 50s. Oh, I can't fucking see! I can't fucking see!
You're not allowed in here.
Whoa! Get him out of here. Imagine
this boy.
How easy would it be? All right, the story of a loose rendition of the story of Dr. Doom is that he went back in like medieval times and his time machine broke.
And he stayed there for a little bit.
He stayed there till the present. He lived since medieval times to present day, which is the future.
Over Transylvania or Doomsylvania.
Yeah. Imagine something like that happening. You travel back in time, you get stuck on accident.
I just feel like with what I know now.
With what you know now. But, dude, you're going to get fucking out-veteraned by some knight. Wait, when did you say the 50s?
I would go back into the 50s and then just dominate like the housing market or something like something like that. Like,
all right, do you want to get to our conclusion of this movie review that we've been taking 3 weeks?
We're gonna spoil it for this dude, but I don't give a shit. We're doing it.
Took us 3 weeks to review this movie, dude.
Sorry. What movie? Oh my gosh. What movie?
The Founder, or is it Founder? The Founder.
For the final topic that we have on this question that I asked earlier in the segment.
Sorry, you got to roll, man. Get out of here.
How censored and politically correct can the United States get? So I'm going to ask this question to Isaiah first, and then we'll play on his point, come to you, and then come back to me. Isaiah, in 50 years,
damn, this is already hard.
Paint me a picture of the United States going full throttle on political correctness.
Well, if you say something, I feel like everybody's just going to kind of work together. Like, if you say something out of line, it's just going to be reported. It could be by a neighbor. It could be by a stranger in the marketplace. It could be at work. And basically, your info could just be pulled up. And
social media included, correct?
Yeah, social media included for sure. That's very crazy. Yeah.
So you do believe that we're headed in a direction where we're going to be heavily scrutinized? Because I feel that that's how it is now, where a guy can't, like even athletes, Shaq and, I don't know if you guys know that, but Shaq and JaVale McGee are getting into this Twitter war so much to the extent where Turner Sports has to tell Shaq to cool it down a little bit because he's an anchor for TNT.
Of, like bullying, pretty much.
You know what I mean?
Or the recent Nick Cannon debacle.
Yeah.
Nick Cannon spoke out against ABC, and he basically, their contract said you can't talk shit about us, so he quit.
Right.
Yeah. He quit America's Got Talent, which is like a huge
which he was making a good pretty penny.
You know what, Mark? I feel like it could get there if we don't do our due diligence in fighting back on that type of either regulations or whatever, or just being confined that way. It really would take everybody kind of like doing their part and making sure that doesn't happen. But it could get there. Yeah.
Andre, what do you think of the next 50 years?
I'm thinking gay robots. I'm thinking black on white crime. I'm thinking of checkerboards, playing with chess pieces.
Hold on, you're talking about trans robotica? You got to slow this down here. Hold on. Transsexual robots who we have to identify as a human cyborg if she's a she-made cyborg?
It's already around, man.
Transgenders more than meets the eye.
In all seriousness, I do see
Autobots
kind of
roll out.
Auto thoughts. So when it comes to what I'm actually piggybacking on what Isaiah was saying, I really feel like it's going to be set up in this way where we police ourselves. And I think that's kind of a groupthink concept where it's like you guys all need to get on board with what is the status quo. Because a lot of people, I don't know why, it's like our standards for some reason are unnaturally high. Like I can't say fuck you out loud on my phone to somebody without like somebody walking up to me like, excuse me, there's women present.
Andre, do you think people are too sensitive?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think everyone's like on some Drake shit. Everyone's really just kind of softened. Everything is so offensive nowadays. Yet, it's like in the context of media, everything can be as offensive as it wants to be. So if you guys watch like reality TV, they're like "fuck you, bitch," boop, 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 and they're hitting each other in the face with wine glasses, and they don't care.
Yeah,
but in the context of reality, like us doing what we do, if you see that reflected in real life, it's a problem.
I'll add to what you're saying.
He's yawning in agreement.
I'll add to what you're saying is. People like to see the drama unfold on reality television, and the ideas and way they talk and what goes on through the programming is allowed.
Right.
But when it comes to
a Twitter
reality in real life with no cameras, no producers, then it becomes a problem.
Right.
That's where the veil gets pulled. Mm-hmm. It needs that shows you that there's no control where it really needs to be. Which is in film. I mean, not in film, but like actual reality television too. Mm-hmm. The same has to be reflected both ways. Okay. You know what I mean?
Both ways, baby.
Bisexual. By regulations.
By regulations here in America.
He wants us to give us our general opinion on the current creative situations, i.e., the hot potato title situations, where they keep changing from people to people, and 50-50 booking.
Now what's 50-50 booking? Explain to me that.
One person wins one SmackDown, the other person wins the next time, and then they just exchange wins up to the pay-per-view. That way they can build like a collective.
That's lame. Nah, I don't care about that. That's lame. I don't care about that strictly for the reason that I watch enough wrestling that I can see the moves that they're reversing on a weekly basis. So the first match happens and everybody gets hit with every move. The second match happens, this guy reverses the off the rope move. The third week happens, this happens. Sometimes, I'm not saying every time, but sometimes by that fifth match, they're reversing everything the whole match. And you're like, this guy got hit with that DDT twice last week. He's not going to get hit with it this week. Mm-hmm. And it only works in that instance. Otherwise, if they don't do that and the dudes aren't that good, it doesn't really work out. But sometimes it does. I don't mind that. Like the Charlotte, Sasha, at least they're doing new things during it. You know, you're seeing new things. They're introducing women to a lot more things that the women weren't doing before. Like this mean streak that they have is like, the way that they kick each other in between moves is like legitimate. It looks like they don't like each other, and it gets over really well with me. I mean,
it's done very well.
But that one's getting a little long. I mean, But who knows what they're doing? There's an ultimate end game to that, but true. That's why I don't like saying shit, because it always makes me look stupid after a while when I'm like, how did I not see that they were doing that 2 weeks ago when it's obvious they were...
You're just getting work, brother.
So when they're doing that 50-50 book, and I kind of hold my reservations until I see the end product, because I'm like, either it's going to bomb or it's going to be pretty good. Like,
when it comes to seeing a pay-per-view after this feud culminates on TV, I want to see the babyface beat the heel or the heel retain the title. And with that, you can go either one of two ways. You just have the heel go on a hot streak or have the babyface go on a hot streak. Make it up to leading up to that match, you know, or have it to where they face only 1 week and then they just build that up to the main event or to the event on the pay-per-view card. You gotta, with both of them, with both opponents winning on a on and off basis, there's no real momentum going any which way except for the last go home television match.
And so like, if they do it right, it's right. If they do it wrong, it's a wash.
Yeah. At the end of the day, after the match stops, then you look back at it and you're just, well, this didn't work, and this didn't work. And then you see that, well, they don't take and learn these lessons from previous feuds and patch anything up. They're kind of making the same mistake. With the hot potato titles, you can't... It's understandable in the beginning with the Universal title where Finn Balor had to relinquish it because of a torn labrum. With the
torn labia?
Yeah.
Torn labia. You tore his hymen?
I know.
Hamstring?
With the hymen busters. Seth Rollins used the turnbuckle hymen buster.
Yeah, atomic turnbuckle hymen buster?
The Universal title thing, that had it, that's understandable, but with the Raw Women's title, where Sasha Banks won the title on 2 or 3 separate Raws, 2 Raws, and none on a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And then they start building up this undefeated streak, like I mentioned earlier, even before she won it the second time. Kind of made you think that, well, it gives you the idea that Charlotte's never going to give up a victory on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, and she'll throw it away on Raw or something.
I hate that. That becomes predictable.
Damn. There's only one left?
So, on this podcast...
There's only one beer left.
Before we end, we like to go to our bitches and G's of the week. Okay. You know, which could be a person, which could just be a situation, an inanimate object.
Okay.
Who's your bitch of the week? Who's your G of the week? So we're going to start out with bitch of the week, guys. All right, so, off the top of your head, what's your bitch of the week, Mark?
My bitch of the week is the gentleman that insulted my wrestling podcast show and did it so... He did it so... I'll tell him this. I'll tell it like I'm talking to him. You didn't have the balls to talk to me personally about the podcast.
His eyes get all red.
Do me a favor and start your own wrestling podcast and see how many people you'd get. I've been doing these podcasts, 3 of them, for about a year now.
Best Stephen A. Smith on him.
So now do me a favor. When you get the experience of doing a podcast and start talking about wrestling and start talking about everything else I do, get on my level and then you start talking to me. That makes you the bitch of the week.
Oh
boom, 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 boom. Shots fired on that bitch ass. Shots fired on that bitch ass.
And the thing is, too, is that wrestling...
I'm scared.
The thing is, too, is that wrestling...
I've never been so scared in my life.
The thing is, too, is that wrestling is supposed to bring people together. It's such a unique...
I mean, people...
It's such a unique art that a lot of people encourage positivity within it. But yet this guy had the audacity to post something on his Instagram page and talk shit about it and not mention me. So he's like offshooting, insulting me. So it just made it seem stupid. So to you, my good friend, actually happy opposite day. You're not my good friend. You're actually someone I detest.
Ho for show.
You are the bitch of the week.
Suck a box of Indian dicks.
Try doing what we do for a year and then come back to me.
Bitch of the week. I like that.
My lord.
I had to give you your own spotlight because, you know.
My bad.
My lord.
Oh, shit.
It sucks too, man, because you try to, you know.
No.
Like heads are exploding.
No, I heard you kind of.
Somebody's dead now.
I heard you kind of talk about it. What was it, on Instagram or something like that?
Yeah.
Which is fucking stupid, dude. Just somebody just
to insult how I do my thing, and the reason I put glasses on is because I don't like my eyes going everywhere, and I just like
stay focused. Yeah. Whatever.
But whatever,
dude. But that's a solid bitch of the week, dude.
Yeah,
Once
that
again,
is.
It's a good bitch of the week.
Insulting people for doing something that they don't do.
All right.
Yeah. Well, fuck them. Fuck
Bitch
them.
of the week.
Fuck them. What do you got, Andre?
All right, man. All right, so this one goes out to this fucking asshole that was talking shit about my fucking wrestling podcast. Now, listen.
Jeez, I thought it was like, damn.
You got one too? Shit.
Andre has a wrestling podcast I didn't know about.
No, I don't have a specific bitch of the week, but my most recent video for Lyricology 101, I did an Eminem verse. And in the verse, I did a Trump joke. Because Eminem talked shit about Trump. He said Trump's a bitch.
Okay.
And I did this joke where I kind of kept going from where Eminem went and just kept doing all these random things about how bitchy Trump is. So based on that joke, a number of people unsubscribed because they were like, I hate when YouTubers get political, or I didn't like that you talked. Ignorance about our president isn't acceptable, you know, shit like that.
Yeah.
And a number of people unsubscribed.
Oh my
and
God.
I was like, okay, who gives a fuck? Who cares? So the bitch of the week is this PC culture that can't handle a joke. It was obviously a joke.
Yeah.
You know, that was
Obviously.
bullshit. So the bitch of the week goes to all of these butthurt people that can't handle
All the haters.
a Trump joke. A simple Trump joke.
That's what I'm
Bitch of the
talking
week.
about.
Bitch of the week.